time they were kids. It's got to be hard to find a guy you know.
Referee said he gave instructions to both of them at the same time. They're very good friends. They're best friends. They hang out together. They spar together in the gym. You know what? They got in and gave it a fight, and they didn't act like best friends when they were in the fight. Sometimes the best fights in boxing are between really good friends. You know, you're not going to outdo me.
No, I think that's right. And I'm sure now they'll shake hands and probably go out to dinner together and be best friends again tomorrow. So we move on now into the heavyweight division, and these are two young fighters who have yet to taste defeat. James Monroe, who's had a couple of professional fights, won them both by knockout, and a guy by the name of Hido Silva. He's from Sacramento, so he's going to have the crowd on his corner. Let's meet him officially now with Jim Hall. Jim?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome all of you here at Feather Falls Casino and also all of our viewers coast to coast on the HD net. Our next match scheduled for 4 rounds of action in the heavyweight division. 2 young men, both undefeated. Our referee is John Shorley. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing white, weighed in at an even 218. His professional record, 2 victories, both of those by knockout, no losses. From Los Angeles, here is James Monroe. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing blue and gray, weighed in at 210 pounds. He's won his solo fight by knockout. From Sacramento, here is Hido Silva.
Okay, these trunks are just a little bit high. Obey my commands at all times and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves now. Come on, fight the bell. Good luck.
And let's see how these two match up with one another. They are both, as we said, undefeated in a very limited career. Hido Silva, big guy at 6'4". So James Monroe giving away 4 inches to him, but he's 8 pounds heavier than he is. Not a big difference in reach for heavyweights. Each man has won his fights, all of them, by knockout. So something's got to give here.
Yeah, these are 2 hard hitters. Big guys, big punch, and maybe a short fight. But explosive.
I think so. Hido Bigfoot Silva.
Bigfoot is right. 15 inches, his shoe size. I guess his size 15.
I guess that's
be
big.
15 inches.
Looks bigger than 15 inches, doesn't it? Not a big chance he'll fall over by himself, I'll say that.
Won't fall forward.
That's right. He can use a tow rope with those.
Well, if he wants to go skiing, he doesn't need any skis. He's a barefoot skier. He could be a barefoot skier.
That's right.
He's quite a story. His brother is a pitcher, 6'7" tall. He has a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. School baseball team, his brother Efrain. Hido Silva on the right is a nice kid. First generation American, his family from Mexico. Father Hido Silva Sr. Oh, good shot.
James Monroe comes from a boxing background. Nephew of a guy that you remember from the 80s.
Oh yeah, worked out with. Used to work out over there at 78th and Hoover in L.A. Marty Monroe, 22-1, 16 KOs. He was a heavyweight and a good fighter. Marty Monroe. The uncle of James Monroe. Monroe got into boxing through Marty. Said about early 80s.
Pretty good left hook there for Monroe.
Monroe has some good combinations. He even set up that right cross.
Pretty quick-handed too. Monroe actually, very brief amateur career. Only had 2 amateur fights. He won them both, and he's won both his professional fights. So he's never lost a fight.
And he doesn't go in there looking for the KO. He says he takes his time, tries to pick his opponents apart. He is a boxer. He says I'm not a heavy puncher. Well, I think Hido would question that. Hido trying to put on weight, 210 for this fight. Last fight it was 205, so hopefully for his next one it'll be 215. I don't think he'll put on any more height, though.
No, he's a big boy.
Oh, good combination. Silva on the attack.
He's got Monroe backing up.
James Monroe.
I think Monroe may still be feeling that.
Monroe learned about this fight 2 or 3 days ago. He says a little bit surprised, but he says, I'm in good shape. Good right hand.
Very
big
good
shot.
And Monroe's leg's starting to betray him a little bit here.
Get back to the jab. When you don't know what to do, jab. When you get hurt, hit and stunned like that, you get confused and you're not quite sure what to do. Just go back to the jab. And it's hard to learn how to react during that time because you can't train for it.
Monroe a little bit short with that hook.
They didn't quite make it there. Silva should keep his mouth closed. Mouth wide open, use jaw jack.
Coming to the end of the first round, and Silva doing the most damage in round number 1.
Big round for him. He likes to start it fast. James Monroe took a shellacking in that first round. He's got a good set of whiskers. Took all those punches. There is Hido Silva, ranked number 4 in the heavyweight division in the amateurs. He won the California National Golden Gloves Championship. He also won the state championship for Golden Gloves 4 times. Here he is in that first round. Watch the good solid punching from him. Setting his attack up, going upstairs and downstairs. Mixing the punches up. The amateurs that his amateur career really taught him a great deal about boxing. Bingo. Just on the point of your opponent's chin. Nice work from him. He had 42-8 in the non-paid ranks.
Trained by Willie Silva, who is his uncle. Also from boxing family. His dad was a professional fighter. In fact, was once ranked as the number 10 light heavyweight in the world.
Fought our friend Eddie Gregory. You may know him as Eddie Mustafa Muhammad.
One of my favorite guys.
Yeah, fought him in Madison Square Garden. Silva says, I was 5 years old when he started to teach me to fight. So Silva been around the game for a while. Says his style is a boxer puncher. He says, the height says boxer, but the Mexican in me says puncher. I want to get in there and brawl. You know, not too many heavyweights that are of Mexican descent. And this is a young kid that really has a terrific, bright future in Riverside, California. Hido Silva. Talk about his 15 shoe size. I asked Monroe what his shoe size was. His is 11.
Not small.
He could be called medium foot. You know, I think there is something to that, though. The people that, like Michael Moore, has a size 13 shoe. He has tremendous power. You get more grid on the mat, digging in. And what fighters do is they dig in on the mat to get leverage on their power punches. If you've got a size 15 shoe, you're gonna have more grid on the canvas.
Good shot again by Silva. Another right hand.
And he is attacking here. Relentless, downstairs, upstairs. Combination. Silva said he knew nothing about Monroe coming into this fight. He said, I may have to box, I may have to go inside, I don't know. Now he's trying to go inside. He's keeping the pressure on.
Well, he was supposed to fight another guy. He was supposed to fight Eric Ortiz. And that fight went away, and James Monroe answered the bell.
Oh, the big switcheroo. It's so difficult sometimes when you're training for one fighter, one style, and then at the last minute, your opponent fell out. Oh, words fighters do not want to hear, especially the day of the fight. But Monroe's undaunted, he's tough. He wanted to prove himself. Because he knows he can do this. A lot of confidence.
Silva not wasting any punches. I like that. That one was a little short. Remember, the crowd is going to react. And a good shot right there with the right hand.
They should react.
And
a headbutt.
Yeah, I was going to say Monroe complaining about a headbutt. A little blood from the nose of Silva, and that likely would be from the headbutt if there was one.
Both men could keep their chins down a little bit more. Tuck the chin, protect height behind those hands. Silva's hands down by his waist, protecting his chest. Oh, good left hook. Done some damage there. Monroe wilted.
Backing up on the ropes. Silva pounding. Great round for Hido Silva.
Huge round. Tide turned in that second.
Well, Silva living in Sacramento, just about an hour and a half away, and you can really tell by listening to the crowd here.
He said he's going to have a lot of people here tonight, and he does. That crowd support is so important. There is that big left hook. That did a lot of damage. See the knees buckle. And from that point on, from that moment right there, I think Monroe is saying, wow, this kid's good. Look at these punches. Keeping the pressure. Hildo Silva, look at that. Hildo Silva Sr. in that corner. Willie Silva, his uncle, and also his manager, Willie Quintana, and Willie Chunky. Willie Chunky in the corner. Oh, the candy bar.
Well, he's a young fighter, and there's still a lot of work to be done, but definitely some promise in Hildo Silva. Has a tendency to telegraph his punches a little bit.
Yeah, and he drags his hands down. Like to see him hide behind those hands. There's hands down around his waist. Monroe has a good style. Uh-oh, they forgot the mouthpiece of Monroe. And just not a smile from Monroe, too.
Yeah, I think he's saying, hey, I was just getting rolling here.
Yeah, I might need that mouthpiece. You know, you got to have that teeth guard. That's a rule here in California. Can't start the round without your rubber teeth. Teeth guard in the corner. Problem was his teeth were in it. A lot of skills. And no rushing in. Be careful. Watch your opponent's head. He rushes in like that. He can catch you with the top of his head. Monroe admits he's learning. He says, hey, I'm not the president, James Monroe. I'm James Monroe.
Exactly. Right now, he's not the fighter, James Monroe, either.
And I was wishing he was the president.
Silva, double right hand. Monroe doesn't have much left. Silva just hammering on him, working the body. Not a bad idea. Monroe's in pain. And I think it's from those body shots as much as from the shots to the head.
Oh, but he comes back.
Him. Yes, he did with a right hand. Caught him on the way in.
Monroe says his best punch is the jab, and he must get to using it now.
Come on, Silva, hit him!
Oh, they're both tired. These are heavyweights. Oh, those gloves get so heavy. 10 ounce, but they feel like 10 pounds.
A lot of action in this round, and now it slows almost to a stop. That was a little short.
Silva on the attack.
Good body work by Silva.
What a fine job staying there, too. Mixing his attack. Continuing, not forgetting the body. "40 seconds left in this round. They're looking for the bell." Oh.
Please.
Oh, a jab would be so effective. There's a little bit of a jab from Silva.
Just a lot
Put it out there. Just pop it out there.
A lot of posturing going on.
Your opponent's going to run into it. Muhammad Ali used to win so many fights this way, just popping the jab out there. You know what? You can relax when you're jabbing too. You can breathe behind the jab. You know, one of the things that young fighters must learn is to breathe in the ring. When you're in a fight of this nature, a young fight, young kids, you forget how to breathe. Learning that is invaluable.
End of the third round, and the early start and a good start by Silva, I believe, gave him that round too. Didn't quite get that stool set in Monroe's corner quick enough, and Monroe had to stand there for a little bit.
There's a look at a familiar face in Monroe's corner. Hido Pruitt, remember the former welterweight? There in the white shirt. Fought for the title against Jose Mantequilla Napoles. Also fought our friend Armando Muniz. He ended up with a record 48-7-1 with 39 KOs. He was a terrific fighter. Boy, real slick, maneuvering around. James Monroe could utilize some of his movement here because look at this attack. Again, on the aggressiveness, Hildo Silva kept Monroe's back to the ropes. Monroe had one good right hand in that third round, but it was not quite enough on the side of the head.
Wasn't as good on the replay as it was in reality, was it?
Looked better. Looked better the first time he threw it.
Yes, it did.
Probably looked better to him the first time he threw it, too. Fourth and final round.
Well, Monroe's going to have to go get him. There's no question about it. One thing I was going to mention, I really like the way Hido Silva works the body. Does that pretty well for a young heavyweight.
Yes, you don't see this in heavyweight boxing. If you work your opponent's body, and these heavyweights, they hit with tremendous power. If you work your opponent's body, you will rob him of that power. That's one of the secrets of taking the power away from your opponent. You rob him with power shots by hitting him in the ribs. You break an opponent's ribs, he's going to be a little cautious when he raises his elbow to throw a punch. It hurts. Broken ribs take forever to heal. Oh, they take so long. You're constantly breathing. It maneuvers that bone around and that cartilage around. Both of them winded. They both had a good start. Silva poured it on the first and second rounds. They both kind of slowed down. There's a good right hand. Again, now high on the forehead. He's aiming that right hand for over on the left side of Silva's head. Aim it right at the nose.
Good overhand
right
right by Silva.
More look at the focus. Silva concentrating. Good jab, good jab.
Yes.
Nice stiff jab. When you don't know what to do, jab.
Silva's got some skills, and it's a little unrefined right now, but definitely has some skills.
Yes. Not afraid to use it. You know, the jab in this heavyweight division is vital. A good jab. Look at the jab of Lennox Lewis. It's great. The jab of Ali. The jab of Larry Holmes.
Ray Mercer.
They use it. Up and down attack. We were talking about that last round. To the body, and then you work to the head.
Big wide left hook got there from Silva. Monroe trying to fight back, took a right hand.
Little shoe shine from Monroe. Monroe, too, some good skills from him. Not quite the experience to put it together. I think he's bemused by that.
And again, Monroe is ready to go. Silva trying to finish him off. Monroe gets out of the corner.
Monroe showing his resiliency just to stay in this fight.
Let's go up! Give me the corner, man!
Final 10 seconds.
You hear that pounding, you better get going. Got to pour it on. You can rest tomorrow.
I thought a very good performance from young Hido Silva. Because he had a live body in front of him. This was not a stiff that he was fighting tonight.
A learning experience. James Monroe knew how to hold his hands. He knew how to box. He had some good moves. He had some terrific jabs. A good cross. You know, if he could put those together, he would do very well. But Hido Silva really showed us tonight what he can do in the ring, and this is him doing it. Body work. Headshots. He is a tough man. As long as he keeps punching like that, he will be competitive in this heavyweight division. And he kept up the attack throughout the 4 rounds. In that third, he stepped back for a little bit, but then came on strong toward the end of the round. And then here in the fourth, he kept up the attack, mixing upstairs and downstairs. Look at the aggression on his face. He just wants to hit Monroe. He says, hold still so I can hit you.
I thought that'll be a very good win for Silva for only a second fight. I think he drew a pretty tough card in Monroe. I think Monroe himself would probably beat a lot of young fighters.
Both of them nice kids. You know, they both real amiable young men. Hido Silva, 24 years old. Monroe, 20.
Well, I had it as a shutout. Let's see what the judges think. Here's Jim Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds of boxing. Let's go to the scorecards. Our judges, Marty Salmon and Terry Smith, both score at 40-36. Judge Dan Stell sees it 39-37. Winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, Hido Silva.
So Hildo Silva now 2-0. And I thought for a young guy only in his second fight, shows some real skills.
I like him. You don't see too many Mexican heavyweights. This is a kid that really has a terrific future, especially the fans around here. They think a lot of him. He's going to learn, he's going to school, and he's going to be back, and he's going to be better than he is tonight.
I don't think there's any question about it. And they bring him back here. He's getting a very good fan support right now. So Hildo Silva now 2 up and none down. Women's boxing on the other side of this. Yeah.
We're here.
Yes, sir.